Hello everyone, welcome to Simex Crypto Show. Today we're going to talk about why Bitcoin's inflation fueled got crushed by geopolitics, why Ethereum waves are quietly accumulating like crazy, and which altcoin just made a major move in the real world asset space. So, as I said, welcome to Simex Crypto channel, and let's dive straight into it, what's been moving on in the last 24 hours. So, the headline would probably be Bitcoin rallied on soft inflation data, but geopolitical tensions wiped those out. Which means that the CPI and PPI, which are consumer price index and producer price index, which are the main measures of inflation, came out, and they came out much better than we expected. And of course, that sent BTC on a nice run, briefly pushing above, I think, $65,000. And of course, traders were getting excited, me also, thinking that Fed might finally pivot. But of course, nothing is great as it seems. Just a few hours later, shock. US and Iran tensions escalated. Mr. Donald Trump is on fire again, and with the Strait of Hormuz blockade, or at least threats of blocking it out, of course, all the oil prices went up. It went up above $85, and of course, it's not the top price we're gonna pay. So that, of course, reintroduced a risk premium that spooked all risk assets, not just crypto, but stocks, commodities, everything. So, of course, Bitcoin got caught in that crossfire and, of course, dumped hard. Classic crypto whiplash, I would say. So where are we now? Well, we're sitting in that 63,500 to 64,700 range. 66,000 is of course major resistance. We've tested it a few times and of course failed every time. On the downside, 63.5 is the key support. If that breaks, 62 and then 61. For information, over 300 million in liquidation in the past day. That tells you how violent that reversal really was. Leverage got completely flushed out, so be careful, guys. On the other side, while Bitcoin is stuck in this range, Ethereum is actually stealing the show. ETH gained over 5% and is holding quite strong near 1900. But the real story, I would say, isn't actually a price. It is what's going on behind the scenes. As some of you probably already noticed, there is a huge, massive accumulation of ETH going on, of course, by whales, and it's almost $500 million in net exchange outflows over the last week. $500 million. And it is roughly 5 times the average pace. So what does it mean? Well, it means that whales are moving their Ethereum off exchanges and into the cold storage. They're not selling, they're accumulating. That's a very bullish signal. And of course, there is more to it. The ETH BTC ratio just broke a 300-day descending trend line, and I would say it's a huge signal. It's for almost a year Bitcoin was outperforming Ethereum, but the trend is now, as it looks, reversing. Capital is finally moving from Bitcoin to the Ethereum. Spot Ethereum ETFs pulled in over 100 million in inflows in just 2 days, over 100 million, which means that institutions are positioning themselves for the next leg up. And if you've been waiting for altcoin season, I would say that this is the early signal or early good signal that it's very close. And speaking of altcoins, let's talk about the top performer, which is a Ondo Finance. By the way, sorry for my language, for my mistakes. English language is my third language, so I'm really sorry about it. As I said, Ondo went up 14%, and I would say that it is a major, I would say, important thing that you should know. They just launched the first US stock tokens backed by DCC, which is custodied securities. And DTCC, for those that doesn't know, it is Depository Trust and Clearing Corporation. And that is the backbone of the US financial settlement system, which is really important. And this is a major step for real-world asset tokenization. So we're talking about traditional stocks like, Tesla or Apple being tokenized on chain. That's a huge thing. And that bridges traditional finance and crypto in a way we haven't really seen before. So this narrative is growing fast. Solana RVA base hit 3.3 billion. BNB executed a $931 million token burn. Institutional interest in tokenized asset is heating up, I would say, and Ondo is in the center of it. It is a leader, as it seems. Definitely, I would say keep that on your radar or on your mind. So to wrap it up, Bitcoin is range bound with macro headwinds. Ethereum is showing strong accumulation and could be gearing up for a breakout. That's my bet, but that is not a financial advice, as you know. And the REA sector is heating up with major developments. So that's it. That's for the today's news. I'll be back tomorrow with another breakdown. Hopefully I cleared this fog in the crypto world for you today. Subscribe to my channel, press a like if you like the video, and I'll see you in the next one. Thank you.